Hello everybody and welcome back to Houseplant Menageries. Today I'm doing my Q&A video plus a question I got on a different video. So I have two questions today. The first one was on the post I made, which I said, no matter how many questions I get, I'm going to make a video, and I got one. And Willie's Foliage asked, what sparked your interest in houseplants? And that's a hard question. So I've got 4 plants here. I'm going to start off with this one. So this is the plant that I've had the longest, or I guess the pot. There's a bunch of plants in here. This is just simple succulent container. There's a couple kinds in here. I don't know the names of any. And my friend and I made it, and they wrote on the front here. But I've had this for I think 4 years, almost 5 years. So that's pretty old. And my oldest plant that I bought is this baby snake plant, as it was labeled. I probably got it about 2 years ago. You can see it has some pups now. It's doing pretty well. It's pretty happy. It's one of my nicest snake plants. I also have a variegated one that I got more recently. But yeah, that's the oldest plant, or the plant I've had the longest that I purchased. And then I have these two plants, which are the tropical plants that I've had the longest. And this is Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole and classical Golden Pothos. Never looked like this though, only more recently. And I bought these at a winter fair that I was vending at with a friend. Probably a little over a year and a half ago. And I just bought them because I thought they looked nice, and I was always interested in gardening, and it was winter, and I couldn't garden, so I was like, oh, I'll snag these guys and take care of them during the winter. It'll be fun. And then this one in particular caused some trouble. I was having trouble with spider mites and leaves dying because it was near a vent. And so I looked it up and I was like, oh, what causes this? And I eventually found, at the top of Google, it said something along the lines of like Philodendron is a species with 400 species, genus with 400 species. Like, oh, that's cool. And I started looking around, looking at the other ones, and then I found and started suggesting houseplant videos to me on YouTube, and I found Leafy Luster's YouTube channel, which is great. You should check it out. And I started buying plants that I saw there because I thought they looked cool. So you'll notice that that's one of the 2 YouTube channels that's influenced a lot of the plants I have are the same ones I saw there. And then I saw like the videos about the big monsteras, and I was like, oh, I want those. And that's my very long way of saying I think it was Leafy Luster's YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, my voice. Anyway, that's my long, overdone explanation of how I started getting into houseplants. Next up, my second question, which I got on my recent video that did really well, is what's your favorite plant? Which is also a difficult question. I brought 3 over with me because I can't really decide, but I think I have an answer. And there is a 4th one. I'm going to say the 4th one first because I didn't bring it because it's too much. It is Philodendron melanochrysum, which has been giving me some heartache recently. And I think I'm going to start over partially. I'm going to give my friend the top part that I cut off because it's just like not looking good. I think it has some kind of viral problem. And I'm just going to start from the bottom part again because I can't with it. But the next one would be a philodendron. These are all philodendrons. I like philodendrons. This is Philodendron Pariso Verde, and it's pretty high up the moss pole. It's got quite a lot of roots, which you can't really see. And I think the big reason I like moss pole and climbing philodendron is because of Sydney Plant Guy, which is another YouTube channel that influenced what plants I have a lot, but more recently. And I'm obsessed with lobed philodendrons. So if you look at this latest leaf, I don't know if you can see that. Look at those lobes. It looks a lot like the next plant, which is one of my top favorites, which is gonna fall over. Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. Now this is a very small one. I had trouble with root rot. I'm trying to find a larger one that I can afford. This is the most recent leaf. You can tell has had some troubles. Still looks okay. It's fairly healthy. The old leaves don't look good at all, and it's got this root that's like coming up like crazy. But this one's pretty small, but when it matures, it looks a lot like that one that I just showed you. Oh, I love it. The Paraiso I've had for quite a while. The Spiritus, not that long, maybe 6 months, and that one probably about 8 months. Actually, probably even longer. I bought the Paraiso Verde last time I had the plants in my bedroom. I don't know. Anyway, and then the last one, another climbing philodendron with lobes, is Philodendron 69686. I also like Philodendron Jopii. I don't have it, so it's not going to be in here, but you can see these leaves. I love them so much. I just put this on a poll today. There's a video about that. And it's super easy to care for. It grows pretty fast. This leaf came out like entirely while I was gone. No problems. And it's just overall easy to care for. And I really love the way it looks. I love the kind of T shape. So yeah, that's my top 3 favorites. I'll show you some other ones though. Also, I forgot to mention, but this question is from Piggy Pilgram. Next few are all in the greenhouse and a lot of effort to move. So now we're in the greenhouse and I can't really move them, but I can show you. One of them is right here. This is Philodendron Golden Crocodile, I believe. And this is a climbing philodendron. It has this pole. Actually, the Spiritus Sancti sits on top of it, but yeah, you can see very orange when it first comes out and then turns more yellow over time. I think I might be getting sick. Anyway, another 2 of my favorites are very large and kind of hard to show off, so I'll just kind of lump them together, and they are Philodendron Red Congo right here. Can't really see any leaves very well, but it's back in here. And Philodendron Golden Melioni. And this grew so much while I was on my trip, I think I need to buy a bigger greenhouse already. It's been 3 weeks, and it's already taking over the whole thing. Next up, and I could move this, but it'd be difficult, is back in there. This is Monstera obliqua Peru. The new leaf doesn't have that many holes, but that's okay. Hoping to grow it up a little more. The next one's a little bit weird, because I like pink princesses. In fact, I've got one here with, fully pink leaf. And I've got some other ones with pretty good variegation back here. That one's not great, but this one back here is really good. And I have a lot of them, but I like this one in particular because it's very, like, slender. And both of these leaves grew while I was gone because I cut it down there and it grew a new shoot, and both of these came out while I was gone. Speaking of the pink princess, I also like the white princess. I have the mother plant right here, and the new leaf is really well variegated. And then I have this top cutting I took, which I repotted in a video today. I have some pups down here, which look pretty good as always. There's also some cuttings that are not ready for soil yet. That's it for my video, because I know that if I go further, I'll probably ramble on for hours and then have to put in verification code and stuff for YouTube. It's too much, so bye. I also figured I should mention that tomorrow is the first day I'm back at school, so I'm probably going to not upload as much, so just expect that coming forward. Another side note, I just love how these look. They're so cool and unique. Didn't include them in the video because they're not tropical plants in the sense that I grow. They're not aroids, they're not philodendrons, so I decided to just throw them in at the end.